Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, uh, after a few people told me that my videos were cutting off early, I realized I had a bit of a problem and I looked further into it, and it turned out that that problem was on my end. My recording program was cutting off the videos. I had not checked the length of the video that it said was recorded with what was being uploaded. I did not assume that there was going to be a difference in that. But there was. And then I started checking further and I found that the video quality was just horrendous. I did not realize that the video was freezing the way it was. Um, I wish somebody had mentioned it, but I guess everybody assumed that I knew. So that's on me. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a narcissist. I don't sit around and watch my own videos. Um, I don't like, I don't stand around looking at myself in the mirror either and admiring myself. Um, I, I spend, if I'm shaving, I spend less than 3 minutes a day in front of a mirror. Uh, that's shaving and brushing my hair. Uh, that's pretty much it. So anyway, um, that left me with a few options. One option was to continue using the high definition camera and not attached to the computer, record the videos, and then go into an editing process, uploading it, editing, and then uploading it to the web. And I negated that right away. I just don't have the time for it. Some of these things are where I could probably use some help with the channel, but I can't afford to pay anybody, and I don't have anybody local that could do this for me. So the another option was just to stop doing anything except for the writing. My time for writing is at this time pretty erratic. So I used to do a lot of my writing at work, and I don't always have the time for that anymore. The other option involved is what I'm doing now, turning it more or less into a podcast format. I did check, and at least the closed captioning is a bit better quality than it was earlier on. I haven't watched to see if there's anything particularly humorous as to the way that the speech to text is interpreting what I'm saying. But if you see something, if you're watching closed captioning and you see something really humorous, yeah, put it in the comments. And in general, please put your comments below on what you think about this format. Honestly, like I said, I'm not a narcissist. I think my voice is better than my appearance, and this is pretty good. There's nothing to watch in my videos except for me talking, so this allows you to just listen and go about your business. So, again, let me know how it's working for you in the comments below. I read all the comments, and I appreciate any interaction. So, let me know. My other option was to finish rebuilding my computer, which is higher powered, and I had intended to do this weekend. I wound up not having the time because I was working on the car, and I've still got to do more work on the car this morning because I One brake in the rear was dragging. The other one wasn't making sound, but I went to AutoZone to get a new wheel cylinder, order a new wheel cylinder. It's not here yet. Got back home, and the wheel that was not making any noise was smoking because the brakes on that side were dragging. And so I think I'm going to have to put the old brakes back in for the time being until I get more parts and or possibly get the brakes lathed. So, yeah, right now I'm just waiting for things to warm up before I get out there and do it. All right, price gouging. This is starting to take a number of different forms. It was predictable. Let's start with the example of my webcam. I went to the high definition camera because I dropped my webcam and it broke. So I had ordered a webcam. It wound up getting delivered somewhere in Mississippi. How that happened, I don't know. So they refunded my money. I went to try and order a new one, and that one was no longer available. I went looking at other webcams, and the same quality of webcam, 1080p, went from roughly $10 or so up to $50, $60, and more. Now this was on Amazon. So this is for retailers on Amazon or resellers on Amazon. And today I went on wish.com, and the same quality of webcam. Oh, by the way, through Amazon, the expected delivery date was sometime in June or July. I went to wish.com. Allegedly, the delivery date is going to be in early May. Same quality of webcam, $10. Isn't it funny how that works under capitalism? And there are resellers that are buying items or ordering items from the same sources, like Wish, for $10, and then they mark it up 500%, 600%, and more. And so we've also seen, and there's documentation of this, it is proven that by claiming that somebody has this pandemic infection, that hospitals are getting more money from the government if they list what the person has as this infection, even if it is only suspected. They are also marking on the death certificates, if it is suspected, they are listing this infection as the cause of death. I've said before that this is absolutely a serious infection. When it began, it really wasn't. The first iteration of this organism really was not that serious. It was not recognized as a new virus because it was pretty much like the flu. But then it mutated. First, it mutated into 2 forms, then 3. And now we have information that there are at least 30 mutations, and I suspected this was going to be the case. I said it in one of my videos about when I was talking about the Cambridge study. I suspected that they would find that there were more mutations as they expanded the testing and examination into the mutations. So, yeah, there are 30 identified mutations of this organism. So, yeah, it has gotten more serious as time has gone on. It's the strain that's over in California is not as pathogenic as the one that is in New York because they are separate strains. The more we see more strains, we talk about people being reinfected. Well, that's like any kind of organism. If it mutates, you can, even if you got resistance to the original, you may be reinfected. Being exposed to the original may or may not offer you additional resistance to the mutated form. That's just like the flu, just like the cold, which is a form of coronavirus. So, but hospitals using this to inflate their income, this is capitalism. Some people are going to say it's understandable. I don't really consider it understandable. I'm against this. They're treating people. Whatever they're treating people for, if a person is put on a ventilator because of regular pneumonia with an underlying COPD or so forth, that hospital should be paid the same as if they are put on a ventilator for this particular infection. This is price gouging. They slap a label on it. It's the same as in capitalism. It's the same product, different label, charge 10 times as much. So, am I recording? Yes. Okay. All right. While the toilet paper shortage was going on, which is now pretty much over for the moment, a co-worker, their family member went looking for toilet paper, went to this corporate-owned store. There was like a 6-pack or 12-pack of toilet paper, usually sells for around $4 to $5 on the shelf. Only one left. She asked why this was the only one left on the shelf, if there was something wrong with it. Turned out the $45 pack of toilet paper, the corporate-owned store had marked up that toilet paper to $24. We see this all the time during emergencies, hurricanes, and so forth. And so look at what's going on with the stock market. We're bailing out the stock market. We're barely getting pennies on the dollar for what the stock investors are getting, the corporations and the banks and so forth. That's a form of price gouging. Whenever this gas overage, this oversupply ends, you can expect the price of gas to skyrocket in the United States. Don't know if it will in other places, but it will here. And that'll be at the same time as millions of people are still paying off debts or, unemployed, underemployed, so far and so forth, because so many corporations are laying people off. And these layoffs, they say it's temporary. No, hundreds of thousands of these layoffs are going to be permanent because corporate retail chains are already lining up to declare bankruptcy after they have taken the bailout money. They're going to turn around and declare bankruptcy and eliminate thousands of workers for each corporation. But you're going to wind up paying more for everything that you buy. This is price gouging. This is the ethics of our country, and we have led ourselves to this by calling Jeff Bezos successful, and Steve Jobs, and all these people, because they have money, we call them successful. And we look at people according to what they own. We don't bat an eye when we let our government continue policies, and we call imposing price caps and controls and regulations, we call that socialism. Well, I'm going to bring up once again, what is the root word of socialism? Social, society, meaning having to do with people and the people that make up that society. That is the focus of a socialized system. Capitalism, the root word, capital, ownership, money, whatever benefits the owners and the wealthy, that's the focus of that system. And we live in a capitalist system. Human beings do not matter. It is the money that matters. So we're going to see a lot more of price gouging, a lot more bailing out, and a lot more bankruptcies after bailing out these corporations. And you're left with the fallout. So whether it's a $10 webcam or trillions of dollars bailing out Wall Street, it's all price gouging. It's all profiteering, it's greed, and we need to change our own priorities. So if you support this concept, then I want nothing to do with you. All right? You're not, you just don't care about other human beings. And it'll come back and bite you. Because the big fish that are bigger than you, well, they're going to swallow you up. That's karma. All right, so that is it for today. I will get around to trying to rebuild the computer and get things back to normal as soon as I can. I got to go work on the car. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel. Mary Giampaolo, thank you again for donating again. I appreciate it very, very, very much. Share this video or podcast, whatever you want to call it, and talk about these issues. And that's the main focus. Talk about these issues. Raise awareness. That's it for today. Hope you have a good day. Later on.